was, man, what a deep breath. All right.
I told you I'm Darth Vader. Austin calls me Darth Vader.
Well, that's very loving.
Take deep.
All right, well, welcome to another episode of the Park Hopper Podcast, and I'm Paul, and this is Jenna, and today we're talking about...
Traveling with family.
Yeah.
Like extended family.
You forgot almost immediately, yeah. Not the dream trip of going by yourself, which, if you can pull that off. For all those listening, I gave some double thumbs up if you're not watching it on the video, but... there are times when you do have to take your family with you.
Not have to.
I'm just kidding. This is me being merry and whimsical. So, typically when you're going to somewhere like a theme park, you're going to take your spouse and your children because you can't leave them at home because they'll be mad when you get back, no matter the good time you have.
I've done it, and they were not happy.
Yeah, there you go. See, I have two, and I brought back gifts, and they were like, yeah, thanks, and they toss them over their shoulder and spit on me. So, but we're talking about taking other people, like, in particular, grandparents.
Yes, particularly.
No, please go ahead if you're going to interrupt. You have something to say.
This is a great start.
Yeah, so yes, grandparents. Now, we've heard that you've taken how many trips with your parents?
We were trying to count. We think around 13.
Oh.
That's us four, my husband and my two girls, and then my parents going with us. But we've also done another trip with Austin's mom. So I guess you could say like 14.
Oh, well, you could.
With grandparents.
13 and 1. If those numbers are correct. And if not, it's Stella's fault.
Something like that.
So, and what would you like to say about these? Well, how are they different than just going with?
So different. Okay, so I think we were trying to do the math. I think over the last 12 years, we've done around 16 trips to Disney. That's a lot. It's kind of hard to say. But so it started off our Disney craze, if you will.
Oh, I will.
Started off, my mom, Stella was a baby, and my mom would take she and I, and the three of us would go to Disney. And then mom would we would get back and she would get some promotion in the mail for another trip or whatever. So we'd go again.
Nice, Disney, nice.
Yes, they're good at that. And then we did a few of those. Then Julia was born. She went. My sister and her daughter went, but her daughter was only like 6 months old. That was rough. Yeah, and had colic. It was not great for her. And then a few trips in, I was like, Austin, I think you should come.
Oh, man.
And so then it became
Austin went,
the four of us
fine.
And my mom and dad. Now, the first time we did that was unfortunate because it was when they were transitioning to having a magic band and all the advanced dining reservations you had to make, advanced fast passes. Like that was the year all of that was transitioning, and it was before I was planning trips officially, so I really wasn't in on the current exactly, what was going on.
And boy, it would have been nice to have a Disney planner.
It would have been very nice to have a Disney planner at that time.
I mean, weird, but go ahead, yeah.
So we got, long story, but my uncle went too. So my uncle's retired from the Navy, so we stayed at the Shades of Green, which is the military resort there.
First I've even heard of that.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's right there by Magic Kingdom.
Now, is he in the American military?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure he wasn't fighting for the Russians or anything. I was born in the 80s. You got to watch out for those guys. They're always getting in our business. All right. So Shades of Green. Apparently, Rocky, Rambo.
Anyway, so we stayed at Shades of Green, which is on property, but it's technically not owned by Disney.
Yeah.
So we didn't have magic bands. And anyways.
Is it fully camouflaged? Is that why I've never noticed it? Is that why it's...
No.
It's Shades of Green. And it's just...
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
They actually have a golf course. I think that's more of the green that they're talking about. But yeah, that would make sense.
Could be shades of fairway if they did that. Yeah. Go ahead. So you went with your uncle.
So all of us went. Anyways, long story short, on that trip, it wasn't as well planned out as our other ones. And so we couldn't get in to eat anywhere. It was awful. We couldn't, everywhere was booked. The good thing was Shades of Green had kids eat free. So we ate every meal there. We would just go back there to eat and go back to the park. But Austin was kind of like, why do you, it was also Mardi Gras. And little tip, during Mardi Gras,
beads, right?
Disney is very busy.
Oh.
Because people from Louisiana go down there.
Oh.
We learned that year. Mom and I had been so many times, and it was never crowded. We had great dining. We, ate great food. And then we go and we bring the boys, and it's crowded.
What boys are you bringing?
Austin and my dad and my uncle.
Who are you talking about? Oh.
So it was really crowded. We couldn't get in to eat anywhere. And so Austin was like, "Why do you do this every year?" So then, continuing on, I think we got like a free dining thing in the mail one year or something. So we booked another trip, and that was all 6 of us went again. And then it was better because we could plan ahead. We could do all the things. We ate great food. And then Austin and my dad enjoyed it a lot more.
And we're trying to talk people into going.
So festival.
So
that was a transition year. And that was tough.
Gotcha.
Because it was like, if you weren't on board with all the reservations, you were out. And which is,
You pull your hair away from your microphone. But yes, go ahead.
Kind of how it is. So we've done, since then, several trips with the 6 of us. And the last one we did pre-COVID was Disneyland. And that was so fun. And so we haven't done one over the last year. But
now my question was, how is it different? But thank you.
Well, I was kind of giving the background.
Okay, I apologize.
Because I do book and plan a ton of, I would say the majority of my business is trips where big families are going. Grandparents are going, brother-in-law's going, uncle, aunt, cousins. And so that requires a lot of detailed, organized planning and communication with everyone. And I would tell you, there have been times when I've been on a group text with
I didn't think about that.
Somebody's grandma, somebody's brother-in-law, the sister-in-law, and then the main person planning it, and the daughter, and all of a sudden the opinions come out and everybody wants what they want. And so it's kind of my job to help organize and coordinate that and say, because the mom that's planning the trip might not want to tell the sister-in-law that that's not a good idea, but I can.
You would also be a good wedding coordinator. That would be nice.
I don't think I could do that.
Because that's
but I
really
could
what
say,
you need.
Here's what I would do in this situation, or here's what we always do on our trips, and then that kind of helps the families have a base to work with. And then what's really important is obviously getting everybody coordinated on the My Disney Experience app. And then it never fails. Grandpa will get in there and play around on the app and mess everything up.
Why not Grandma? Why is it
It's always Grandpa.
I know what these phones do.
He gets in there,
me now, so.
and then everything is there. I don't know what's going on. So I help. That it helps to have a middleman to kind of show everybody what to do and lay out the plans and make the decisions and stuff like that. How is it different? So,
all right, y'all got that? That's a firm base to build this story on.
I mean, there's nothing like, okay, you could take your kids to Disney, and that's fun. It's wonderful. You should. But then when you see your parents there enjoying it just as much as your kids are enjoying it, that's even more special. And then just seeing everyone making memories together. I mean, you've done it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You took your parents?
Well,
no.
yeah.
Nikki's aunt?
Well,
what was it?
So the first year that we went as a group, we've been twice as our host squad. And the first time we had It's me and my wife and my sweet daughter and my wife's...
Pre-Lily?
Hang on.
Oh.
I'm setting the scene. My wife's aunt and my parents, and we were very excited to going. And as you do with Disney, we planned a little trip, in the distance. And well, before we got there, we got a little bundle of crazy. And so we had a baby with us, and it's very helpful, I will say. New parents in general, but if you have a new baby,
right,
always good to have another hand.
Extra help.
And Lily, we love her to death, but we have a good picture of her. She had a blown out diaper before we got into the first line, the first day. We were like, what is happening? There's a picture of my wife holding her like this because you can't hold her on her back. She's like on her stomach because she's already, destroyed an outfit, and we haven't even got in.
How old was she?
2 months.
Oh
yeah,
my
6
gosh.
weeks. Oh, it was early. It was like, well, we planned this trip and now we got a baby. It was where we were pushing, where my wife was getting ready to have to go back to school after maternity leave. It was like right on the edge of that, where she was still off on, before going back. Yeah,
that's young.
Yeah, it was.
And how old was Addie?
Addie would be 4. Yeah, because they're 4 years apart. So she had just turned 4. And then Lily had turned alive, and it was actually a good trip for her because she slept the whole time. When she wasn't pooping, she was sleeping.
Yeah,
so,
that's true at that age. They're not mobile, they're, mostly sleeping.
And I love to video our vacation, so there's lots of good footage of everybody just holding a sweet little newborn baby and patting her little butt. And she's doing her little tongue. She learned that she had a tongue, and seeing her toes, but at Disney World, and it's lots of fun.
Yeah, that's sweet.
But then...
Where'd you all stay?
We stayed at... Wow, I didn't know you were going to ask me questions. Where did we stay?
Put you on the spot.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know where we stayed.
Port Orleans?
No, that was the next time.
Oh.
Well, we'll probably talk about hotels on a different episode, but I think we might have stayed at one of the All-Star resorts.
I was thinking
because
All-Star.
Those are the ones I like, and we'll probably get into that more later. But
so you all had, the 4 of you had a room, and then the other ones had a room? Is that how you did it? You had separate
Well, we had a room,
rooms?
and my parents had a room, and then her aunt had a room.
Okay.
So we had 3. Yeah, we didn't have like a big group suite because...
Did you have connecting doors?
No, we booked it, and it was... So we booked it, and my parents booked it, and then it was before... I don't even know if you did it then.
Probably not.
So... and then her aunt booked it later, so she was on another side of the hotel property. But, we went around Halloween, and so we let Addie run around and trick-or-treat at the different aunts and grandparents' rooms because we didn't go to the party because...
That's an extra ticket.
And
late at night?
Listen, the Halloween party is super fun, but if you have 8 people, you're like, whoa, that really escalated. So, we took them the first time, and it was great, and there's some great video. Nope, wait, this is the second time. So the second time we went, my parents did not go, but my father-in-law did. So they're brother and sister, my wife's aunt and father. So they are brother and sister. So they, all the fun that you would have with your brother and sister being a child, but being adults. So, but they were a good time, and good helping hands then too, because Lily that time was not feeling great. And there were just extra people to scrape her up off the pavement when she's crying in front of the movie ride on the asphalt, face down, screaming.
Oh my gosh! I think I saw it. Didn't you have a picture or video of that?
Yeah, it's just, it's the memories that you make. It's what you make of them. And we're like, what a fun time. And then we go. Facebook says, no, not all the way a fun time. Look at these pictures, and you're like, Facebook. But
still fun.
We liked it a lot. We feel like we did more. When I like to go to Disney World, I like to go. And you said you get up, and if it were up to you, you'd be up.
Oh,
in the park.
I'd be up super early.
Let's do this, everybody. Shake them awake. And that's not my family.
Yeah.
But if we're going to the park, they'll drag themselves there. But with parents and grandparents, I feel like we took more rest. So it was a more relaxing trip.
That's true.
Because we weren't like, move it, Granny. Like, we got to get mine train. Let's go. And it was like, we're going to have a nice lunch. We're going to go to the boardwalk area for dinner. Something nice, not something like driving back to the hotel and getting a pizza. It was like, we're going to sit and we're going to enjoy each other's company because we're here.
Right.
And we've been dragging you all over the park.
Yeah, I mean, it's a completely different experience. Now, I will say my mom can usually outrun me. So
Well.
I remember one year we took Stella, it must have been our first year. And I was texting Austin at 1 a.m. And we were getting on Dumbo.
Oh.
Stella was like 18 months old.
Wow, that's fun.
It was when they had like the late night hours and stuff. And at that time, you know, it was just her, and we would go through half the day, and then she'd say, I'm ready to go take a nap. And so we'd go back to the hotel, and we'd all take a nap, and then we'd go back out for the night.
Oh, man.
And so that was great. And then my dad, like, he starts off real strong, and he's ready to go. And then, you know, in the afternoon, he wants to go sit by the pool. And so a lot of times he'll leave. If we want to stay longer in the evening, he'll leave and just go chill out by the pool and do his thing. So I think you can go either direction, you know, and drag them around all night or let them go back and rest and do their thing. But I do think it's very important when you have extended family to have dining reservations, because trying to find a quick service, especially right now with the mobile ordering, trying to do all that with a big group can be stressful. So if you have all those reservations booked ahead of time, and then you know you're going to sit down and have a good meal and everybody's going to be happy and get a break. And then one year when we took his mom, it was in August and it was hot. I mean, 90.
The year we went in October,
5 degrees.
It was 90, and we were like, why is it 90? It's supposed to be fall.
Awful. So that was pretty hard for her. She did end up renting a scooter because it was nice because the girls would sit with her and we'd put everything in her basket. And
slide to the front of the line.
We did.
That's,
And so I think she had one day in Magic Kingdom where she was like, I think we need to go back. And I was like, I don't go back.
There's no going back. There's only forward.
So I was like, get some water.
Get it together.
We'll fan you off. We still have hours to go.
Man.
But we did. I mean, we ended up going back and swimming a little bit. But that year we actually stayed in the Art of Animation suite. And it was perfect for that because I don't recommend that for a big group of people, but it was 5 of us. And so we had a little more room to move around. We had 2 bathrooms, which was nice. And then we had room for her scooter to park and charge all night and stuff like that. So that was a good setup for that. Normally when we just go with my parents, we'll get our own room and they'll get their own room. One year we went, we went spring break. Austin went to Colorado and skied.
He was like, enough of this.
And then Mom and Dad and the girls and I went to Disney. And then we went to Disney World for 4 nights. And then we went to Disney's Vero Beach Resort for 5 nights, which is a couple-hour drive. So then when we finished Disney World, Austin flew to Orlando. We picked him up at the airport, and then we all went to the beach.
He was like, yeah, I'm going to relax after this. I'm not going to the shenanigans with you and your family.
So that year, we actually stayed in a room at the Grand Floridian that had the 5th sleeper. So like each of my girls, I don't know. I think Julia slept with my dad and Stella slept with my mom in the Queens, and then I slept in the 5th sleeper. And it was great. It was comfortable.
What is a 5th sleeper?
So some of the rooms have like a bed in the wall that pulls down.
Oh, like a Murphy bed? Those are
kind of like a Murphy bed, but it's single size. Some of the hotels, they're child size, but the ones at the deluxe resorts are pretty decent. I was comfortable.
I feel like they have those at the All-Star.
Yeah, they do have a pull-down queen or something.
I feel like we were pretending to put the kids in the wall. Like, get in the bed, whoop whoop. You stay here.
Night night.
Yeah, because we're fun parents. Yeah.
No, some of the ones at the deluxe resorts are really cute. And then, like, you pull it down, and then in the wall next to the bed, they'll have like Peter Pan flying.
That's for hotel talk for
we'll
a later time.
But so that's kind of the arrangements we do. Now we talked about in the Disneyland. That was the year we got the amazing setup.
Yeah.
Where we had 2. The girls had a room. We had a room that connected, and then my parents had a suite, and all of it was just connected and blocked off at the end of the hallway. So we had one big double door that opened all of it. I mean, it was amazing.
Like P. Diddy, where he stays when he goes to Disneyland. He just gets that corner suite. And,
Kinda.
Yeah.
So that had a kitchen and living room. And so that's always nice too. A lot of my families, I just booked a trip for a big family going next spring break. And they did the 2-bedroom villa at the Riviera. And we'll talk about that later. But it's nice when you have grandparents grandparents like to sit in like a living room area in the evening.
They just like to sit sometimes.
They like to sit. Yeah. And a lot of standard hotel rooms don't have that seating.
True. Yeah.
You know, you just have your beds.
I've never thought about that.
So I always recommend the villas for my big families, because then you have laundry and you have kitchen and living room, you know.
Do you do laundry?
I love doing laundry on vacation.
Oh my goodness. No.
It's so weird. I'll still take the girls to the pool and I'll go to the laundry room.
Oh my God.
I love it. I just loved like feeling caught up. And so anytime we can get a room with laundry, I'm like so excited.
You're easy to please. That doesn't seem, I can't even fathom trying to do some laundry. I don't even like them to change the sheets out. If it were up to me,
What?
No, I would put the show up.
Oh,
and
no,
do not
I
disturb.
want all clean stuff every night.
Well, that's my wife too. So we get it all clean because we compromise and she gets what she wants. But I can't imagine doing a little laundry on a vacation. I can do that at home.
I love doing it.
Yeah.
And my dad is the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's one of the guys that wears an outfit and washes it that day.
Oh.
And hangs it back up in his closet, you know? So
Lunatic. He hangs it up and wears it and so does he change?
So like you can look at his closet and see exactly what shirt and shorts he's wearing that day. Because that's the only thing
like
missing.
a cartoon character? That's fun. You should get him like a big pegboard. He could just take it down and you could see like the outline of where his shirt was.
So
I'm missing number 3.
That must be where I get it.
You are like accidentally spilled something on his shirt one day when you were kids and you're like, he's gonna know. He's in there counting them. Mm-hmm. That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, so this is going to the parks. What about like your trip to Vero Beach or like a cruise and stuff with that with big families? Is that something that is done a lot?
I actually booked a cruise for next April, and it's 4 families. Like the grandma and grandpa are paying for it, and then like the 3 daughters, their husbands and kids, grandma.
Yeah.
So I guess that's 5 rooms.
Yeah.
So yeah, a cruise. I think a cruise is great for a big group of people because everybody can kind of do what they want. You're not on a set itinerary. So I found them all cabins next to each other. So they're just all connected and right by each other. And throughout the day, you know, you can go swim or you can go watch a movie or do whatever you want to do, meet up for dinner, meet at the pool, whatever. It's a little more relaxed and everybody can kind of find their own groove in it. Vero Beach is great. So Disney does have a resort at Vero Beach on the Atlantic side of Florida. And it has, we did a 2-bedroom villa there. And that was 2 rooms. One room had 2 queens and the other room had a king. But it's all one big unit. And then a living room, a kitchen, laundry room, and I think 2.5 baths. I think each room had a bathroom, and then there was like a half bath in the main area, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's on the beach, and it's fun because it still feels like Disney. So
now we'll probably talk about cruises in another episode, but I don't know if we have a whole episode enough for Vero Beach. What is it about that makes that Disneyer than a beach?
Oh, it's fun because when you get there, like people are wearing their ears, and they have like the Dole Whip, and they have the Mickey bar ice cream. They play all the pool games that you would play at a Disney resort. It just, Vero Beach specifically is it's where a lot of people stop on their way home from a cruise.
Okay.
So they land at Port Canaveral and then drive like 30 minutes to Vero Beach. Stay there for a couple nights. So we stayed 5 nights, and while we were there, people kept coming in from the cruises. So they would have their big cruise hats on, they would have their Mickey ears on. I mean, they were just, there was just a lot of excitement, and you could tell that they, just got back from having a lot of fun. And it's close to the Space Center too.
Yeah.
So we went and did that, the NASA Kennedy Space Center, and I mean, it's that Disney magic, that Disney quality, but on the beach.
What is that beach like? Is that a nice beach?
Well, it's the Atlantic.
What I mean, the beach, like, does Disney have that part of the beach? Is that there?
Yeah, that's like you have a private beach there,
See-
and it's a sea turtle nesting ground.
Oh.
So when we were there, it was like,
There's a lot of people talking like this. And like,
dude,
it's turtles. And like, please do not high five the turtles. They are nesting.
there was an area blocked off where the nest was, and at night, they turn all the lights off around the resort on that side of the resort because so the turtles can rest and feel comfortable going back to the sea when they're ready.
Well,
so that was
isn't
kind of fun.
special for the turtles. Now, so that's like my family's a beach family, and we've never been to the Disney beach, but our problem, or I think the main problem we always have as a family when you go to the beach is you can stay at a real dicey hotel, or you can stay at a nice hotel, and you're like, oh, I'm feeling relaxed, do my laundry, have a kitchenette, do whatever you want. And then you go to the beach, and there's like cigarette butts and needles, and you're just like, what happened to?
No, this
wrong
was
with
really
people?
clean. It was good.
Like no matter where you go, it seems like the beach is always public. So, the riffraff get to the beach and ruin it for us.
No,
That's
this was
fine,
all Mickey hats.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
And they had a couple restaurants on site, but then we also drove into the Vero Beach town a little bit, and then they had like a little town center with restaurants and shops and stuff like that. So, but they have standard hotel rooms, then they have the villas, and then they have like a whole beach cabin you can rent if you have a bigger group of people.
I didn't realize what a big area this was. That
Vero Beach?
yeah. Well, that the Disney Vero Beach was.
Yeah.
Really? Really? Come on.
Julia's getting nice. And then I will say, though, on the Atlantic side, it's not, I think here in Louisville, so many people go to the Gulf, and the Gulf's beautiful. The Atlantic is a little rough. The water is rougher.
Yeah.
So.
Well, how far out there are you going?
Well, not far, but I mean, like the waves are bigger. It's not like.
Like the Gulf, you go and you can see your legs.
Yeah.
And you're just.
It's not the clear
peaceful,
blue
and
water.
You go there and you're just going, there's seawater in my eye.
Blowing you
And there's,
everywhere.
Yeah, seaweed in your hair and your ears when you get up. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, but the pool is really fun, and they had a big water slide. They had a water slide games contest, and I think my dad won one day. He was all about it. He loved the
I'm not
water
even
slide.
going to guess what kind of contest it was.
It was like, do your silliest trick down the water slide or
Oh, that's
something,
fun.
and then people voted. And
I am very much against going to the pool if you're staying at the ocean, but I'm also in the minority in my family of that too.
me too. When we went to the beach last year, this is off subject, but
No, it's on. We're talking about beaches.
I
Stay with us, people.
refused to go to the pool.
Yeah.
Well, for one, we have a pool in the backyard.
Yeah.
So I was like, we can swim when we get home. I want to be in the sand. I want to be on the beach. I want to hear the waves.
Yeah.
But the Vero Beach pool is right by the ocean. So you still kind of feel like you're there on the beach, and you just walk in and out of a gate. So anyways, that was one of the trips we did with grandparents, was the Vero
that's
Beach
fun.
at Disney. But yeah, cruises are great for big families. And then, you can also plan trips where, like if you had, it's usually like the grandparents are the hub, like they're the main people. And then you have, let's say like 2 groups of their kids and their families. You can do your own thing.
You're describing a family tree. That's what you're.
That's right. On the next branch,
Yeah.
you have the kids, and then the little, not quite a branch, but a little twig, are the grandkids.
Yeah, you got weird Uncle Larry that fell off the side. Might roll over there too. The nut on the side of the.
So.
That wasn't your uncle's name, was it? That'd be terrible.
Nope. I do not have an Uncle Larry. But there are different ways to plan the trip. You all do everything together, or some of you take the big kids to do this, some of you take the little kids to do this, and you meet up. And
All the more reason to have someone plan it for you.
that's right. It is a lot of planning, I will say. When you're traveling with grandparents and aunts and uncles, you absolutely want a travel planner because there's just so much coordinating and so many things to think about.
Because you know what has never been said?
What?
If you're having trouble with your family, you should plan a Disney vacation together on your own. It'll really bring you all time together.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? So, yeah, it takes a lot of detailed
Dump the
planning.
stress on Jenna.
Put it on me.
Yeah.
Make me the bad guy.
Yeah, well,
I don't mind.
not that. I was just going to say, let you carry the burden, not
Well-
make everybody hate you.
I don't know. Those are my favorite trips to plan, though, because it is so exciting when the grandparents, surprise the grandkids. I've been able to go to a surprise party before.
Yeah.
Where the grandparents and the parents told the kids that they were going, and we had this big reveal and everything. It was so fun. And like you said, it helps having extra hands on the trip. My girls are getting older, so that my mind isn't quite there, but it is nice, like.
Somebody else shooing the boys away.
Or you're eating at the
Gaston,
restaurant and you're
she's
like,
11.
I gotta run back up to the room real quick and get
Yeah, oh,
something.
yeah.
And then grandma's sitting there with the kids, so that's helpful. Like I said in another episode, my sister-in-law and her husband went and took his mom, and she stayed with them. Epcot, we talked about this.
I'm trying to put together
So
your sister-in-law and how that works.
no, my sister, sorry. My
Oh, I
sister
was
and
like-
brother-in-law, sorry.
I was like, where on earth did that come from?
My sister and her husband
That's
went.
Larry's daughter.
I forgot about Larry. And his mom went. And so she kept the kids one night while they, walked around Epcot and had a date night and stuff like that. So
Listen, because you're a good parent if you're taking your kids to Disney, but it's a lot of work.
it's a lot of work.
And just sometimes you're just like, look, we could use an hour away from our angels. So even if they're just sleeping, let them go back to the hotel, let the grandparents go.
Yes.
They often should share a nap schedule, your parents and your children, so you could just send them.
That's
nap
true.
time? Yeah.
Everybody
Everybody
can
go
all
rest.
enjoy their nap time.
Yeah.
Now, Paul, what rides did your family like doing together?
Oh man, that
So were they big, did they like the roller coasters or did they like Small World or what?
my family. I'm trying to think. So my family is more of a relaxed ride group.
Okay. River Cruise.
Jungle Cruise.
Jungle Cruise. Why can't I ever get it?
I don't know because you basically work there, and it's the best ride they have. Well, my dad, I'm trying not to get any of us canceled. He's a big fan of the Splash Mountain because of the books that the characters in Song of the South were based on.
Okay.
Now, Song of the South has fallen out of favor in 2021 in most areas. Not all areas, but most areas. And we had a book growing up, and it wasn't that movie, but it was based on those, like the rabbit and the fox and the bear. And
I remember. I think we had
there
those
were
books
2 or
too.
3 stories in that one that I would I'd go ahead and put those with some of those Dr. Seuss books and just slide them under the couch and forget they were there. But like that kind of stuff, more of the older, they don't really they're not big Marvel people.
Okay.
They're not keeping up with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, all that business. But they like classic Disney because they used to take me when I was little. So, and I think they liked it more. We would go when I was a kid. We would go on like the long rides. That was when Hollywood Studios was MGM Studios, and they had a 2-hour tour of you would just get on the tram, and it was like, oh. I talked in another episode that they would stand in line with me for 3 hours to ride a ride.
That was at Universal.
Yeah, but then they would also like, well, we can also ride this ride for 2 hours and have a nice snack and a
Sit
drink,
down.
and then, So they like the slower things,
Okay.
And I have lots of, especially when my girls were little. When my oldest was 5 was the last time we were there, and there's footage of her. I have videos of her being 5 with my mom and my dad, and they're just,
Sweet.
It's just
Yeah.
it's good times, and they're
It
just
is.
laughing, and you get a special kind of laughter and a special kind of
You're
joy
right.
when you're with grandparents
You're
as
right.
opposed to
Just mom and
that.
dad.
And
Yeah.
when you're just multiplying that exponentially when you're at Disney World because they're having a good time, the grandparents are having a good time. It's really, I don't understand how people have a bad time. Even when our child was falling apart, we had a great time because of where you are. You walk in and you're like, this is different.
It's so happy.
Yeah. Like what? Yeah, well. So with that, I mean, we have lots of memories because I'm a video person and like a photo person, and you're getting all that added on by having
those are priceless.
And I will say, I do think if it was just me and my wife and the girls, it would have been the girl. You know, even when you're at Disney World, you can't let them get away with everything.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just need Grandma and Papa to say, hey, it's okay. Let's have a couple more drinks and a couple more candies and go berserk and let Mom and Dad not have to worry about it. And you're like, you know what? If you're going to keep them from jumping in something that they're not supposed to jump in, all the more. And then they're like, grandparents heroes, Mom and Dad boo. But
and like that is really fun when Grandpa walks over with the ice cream and gives it to the kid, and it's like best day ever, you know.
Yeah.
And then in our family, my mom likes big rides. She likes the big roller coasters. So she is usually trying to convince my girls to go with her. So sometimes that's like an incentive.
Vacation with your mom. No wonder Austin and your mom get along.
They do. They get along really well.
Maybe me and Austin and your mom should go.
They go ride all the big rides together,
like
and they're
stay
running
until 1
from here to there. Yeah. So so she's usually trying to get them on the big rides, and then you know, it's always fun when Grandma and Grandpa get to witness them, you know, being brave and trying something different and something new and scary that they, you know, were scared of, and they get to be there to experience that with them. And I
have a tip for the day then with grandparents.
Tip of the day.
It has its own song. It doesn't need it. So I'm one of the cheaper people you'll meet. I like to say frugal. My wife says cheap. But if you're having grandparents along, the kids are going to have a better time because they're going to get more junk to take home. They're going to get more snacks, and they're going to get more keepsakes or, you know,
souvenirs.
Stuffed animal, something they have to have. And we're going to talk about souvenirs in another episode, and you'll see some of the things that, that were, you know what, we'll talk about that in that episode, but there are more things like that are where I'm like, no, we paid for this trip to Disney. You don't need a $20, spoon. I'm like, what? We have spoons at home.
What about the balloon? Did you ever get the balloon?
Well, we were going to talk about that too.
Oh, okay.
One of the cheapest people, bought a balloon for Addie when we went because that's my little precious little baby girl.
Of course you did.
And she said, oh, one of the light up balloons at the thing. And then we were like, well, that was we got a good 45 minutes out of that, didn't we? That was money well spent. And she was like, well, I don't want it to pop and go away. And we were driving home, and we're like, well, we can't take it with us. So her aunt, my wife's aunt, was like, well, you'll see us in like 3 weeks for Thanksgiving. I'll take it. So she drove there. It was just because this is how my family treats their children.
Oh, that is sweet.
The ridiculous $15 balloon that lasted. Yeah, there's some souvenirs you don't need. That's something that you're going to hang on to, but she was so happy to have that balloon.
Now, we bribed Julia with the balloon one year.
Well,
because she wouldn't smile for any pictures
Julia,
until we got her the balloon.
Out here getting ice out of the machine, interrupting a podcast, and wouldn't even smile.
I think she was like, I don't know, 15 months old or something.
Oh, well, goodness gracious. You know how you bribe your children? You say,
no, she must have been
smack you if you don't smile. You look happy. You make memories with me. But yeah, grandparents are going to get, the kids are going to have a better trip because they're going to get the grandparent experience turned up more than they would have imagined. So.
And what we really enjoyed doing when we were going to Disneyland last year, we had not seen the Star Wars movies. And so we were going in March. So that Christmas break before, this was right when Disney Plus came out, and all the Star Wars movies were on there. So we would get together with my family once a week and knock out another Star Wars movie. And it was so fun. We would do it here or at their house and have popcorn and make a big deal out of it. And we didn't get to do all of them together because there are 9, but we did quite a few. And then we would catch up, did you see number 4? Okay, well, we're going to watch it tonight. So that was a fun thing to do too.
Grandma,
and
why is he kissing his sister? Why?
And then when we got to Star Wars Land and Disneyland, it was, for all of us, it just brought it all to life, and it was so fun. And Austin confronted Kylo Ren.
Yeah. And you were breathing real deep, and he turned around, he thought it was Darth Vader, and then he kicked him in the shin, and you all won the battle. That's good. Boss. Oh. Yeah.
Oh, that's my wife.
That's not his boss. I don't know. I'm a little rusty on Star Wars. So.
Oh, and we did Walt's tour with my parents too. Yeah. That was really fun.
Well, it sounds like something you definitely should do.
And we actually went.
What a great comment, Paul.
With my grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in high school, maybe.
Are you asking me?
We stayed at Shades of Green. And
I have no questions.
I don't remember a ton, but so we did that as well, but.
Yeah. I never went with my grandparents ever, but that's okay. I was an only child, as you'll find out in the souvenir episode, so I don't know how much of my grandparents were going to be necessary for me to have the trip.
Oh boy. Yeah, so lots of special memories, fun times.
Yep. And you know who didn't get to take their grandkids? That couple from Up.
Oh my gosh, you always go back to that. So awful.
Man. Yeah.
Now we have a YouTube video on the grandparents.
Oh, yes, you do.
We do.
Yes, you do.
I do.
I was like, our grandparents.
It's good. You made it.
I remember.
You made a good video on that.
Damn. Oh.
And we actually remember we had a few people write in on their experience.
I completely forgot.
And that was good.
How that video went, but maybe we'll play it at the end of this video, and that'll be a good way to wrap it up.
Hey guys, it's Jenna again, and I'm here to share with you something that's very close to my heart, and that is traveling to Disney World with grandparents. When grandparents come along, it adds excitement for the whole family. Disney has great accommodations for those families traveling together. If you choose not to get your own individual room, everybody can stay together in a bungalow or a cabin or a villa or a suite. And Disney brings out the kid in all of us and makes grandparents feel young at heart. But don't just take it from me. Let's hear from some grandparents that have traveled with their families. Gigi from Louisville says, I truly love everything about being there as a grandparent. You get to experience the joy of seeing the delight Walt Disney World brings to your grandchildren, as well as the joy of seeing your grown children getting to experience it with their family. Walt Disney World is designed to be fun for the whole family, no matter your age. It is an honor to be included in this family experience. It's about bonding, having fun, and making the most special kind of memories. I've been 10 times with my grandchildren and hope to do it at least 10 more. And if I'm the luckiest person ever, I may get to do it with my great-grandchildren someday. Grammy from Shelbyville, Kentucky says, our family had an awesome experience at Disney World. With our days planned out, we were able to enjoy so much more than we would have just winging it. My grandchildren surprised all of us by behaving the entire trip. No meltdowns or tantrums, even with no naps. They loved seeing all the characters in the rides. There was a total of 4 grandparents, 2 parents, and 2 children, and I don't know who had the most fun. The food was great. Our hotel was beautiful. It was an experience I will cherish. And then Katie from Shelbyville, Kentucky says, everyone knows that Disney World is magical. So when planning your family vacation for your kids to become acquainted with the most magical place on earth for the first time, you have certain expectations. To see the wonder in their eyes, to see their hearts melt as they meet their favorite characters in real life, and you expect to make magical memories. What we had not planned originally was the grandparents' enthusiasm and wish to tag along on our family's journey to meet the mouse. The wonder, the excitement, and melting hearts we witnessed our parents experience with our children. Disney really does bring families together and make one appreciate the awe and wonder of a child or grandparent too. Thank you to Jenna for all your assistance in helping us plan a wonderful adventure with memories to last a lifetime. If you are interested in having me book and plan your family vacation for free, click on the link in the description, fill out the information in the form, and scroll down to the bottom where it says who referred you to visit Mickey. Just put in Jenna from YouTube. Thank you and have a magical day.